Trump in Pittsburgh, Post-Gazette, love to hear how they got away with the AIDS attack. Boy, do they love to hear the stories. You can put it together pretty easily. Rango says that I could have saved John Lennon. He doesn't say how. He doesn't say why, because it would mean that there was some indication that there was evidence that Lennon was going to be killed in my possession. That would lead to the question, who wrote that evidence? And that was a Zionist, a little girl who was 12 years old, who many people read and don't see the connections when they're fully adults and even told. They're given a clue. Psst, these are manuscripts claiming to be the lost Manson treasure behind the murder of John Lennon. And they read them and go, how does that work? How does that work? And you have to explain all the details and the crafty signals and stuff. And they'd roll their eyes and go, ah. But Jimmy Carrey, who was being dragged through glass and beaten and tortured and told he was worthless and no good and not meaning that anybody could have saved him, and made a solemn soul compact, like with Mephistopheles, made a solemn soul contract, never to tell the truth about Reagan's hand in that. So they get away with it. And they love to hear the stories. They love to hear how Brecker stole the Beatles story and how the Pittmans forced them to use inhalants. And Trump says, no, it was me. I told him to dip his pee-pee in nitroglycerin to save the COVID Messiah or something. That's the way he thinks, right? So they have these philosophers like Zizek porking people with carrots and stuff and saying, oh, aren't we neat? We're philosophers. So you have, they love to get away with it. They conjure Rushdie and the devil, the satanic verses, and the fumes of pussy galore. The fumes, exhuming the peep show of the Holocaust from the fumes of pussy galore. Because this is the way Nosferatu makes his bed. So, and they get away with it. It's a joke. Reagan didn't know he's Chief Joseph because Lennon was martyred. And everybody says, yes, that's the Ribouts view. And when I challenged the people who were named in the script with Gail Burstyn, they said, nah, we didn't have anything to do with John Lennon's murder. So they have to pin the tail on the wrong donkey. Because if they did anything else, they would have to admit that they were partners with the people who they claimed did it. And that would lead to a long, difficult explanation, a long song and dance. So Trump and Post-Gazette have this conjuring act. They love to hear the stories. They love to hear the questions. And Yoko Ono says there will be instant karma. And she has this Swami nose for poisoning people in the mouth. But the way that I didn't know none of that stuff was going on. I would never have tolerated. What I did know was they were putting together a seduction mousetrap from a time predating AIDS to exterminate sexual libertines. And they did it on Mount Desert Island at an immunogenetics laboratory called Jackson. And their agents were John Stockwell, the Society for Human Ecology, Richard Borden, Mitch Hockman, who was the Zionist of the mugs, Lisa Cassidy, Hillary Logan, Suzanne Brewer, David Page, and then I departed with my strawberry-haired girlfriend to Montana, where Martha Gellhorn wrote to me because she was suspicious about what happened to it. And then you get the controversy, the rub. she said, I recognize the great sense of urgency in your letter. And Penis Gabriel comes jumping down holding PP, writing crime and misdemeanors in the marquee of the Montana church, Montana. I hope I spelled that correctly. He jumps down, holds PP, and he says, urgent, urgent, urgent. Who are you going to believe? A psychopathic ripper hatter like Penis Gabriel or Martha Johan? There was a great sense of urgency. But they wanted to pin the tail on the wrong donkey. So they sent him Penis Gabriel. Whoop, whoop for Nosferatu. Whoop, whoop for Nosferatu. And he had backup from the British Workers' Party, obviously. That's our money. We want to sell the buttons of this. Mick Jagger said, we still know how to get him. He's got an implant. We still know how to get him. Wadmaker told us what to do. We'll plunge the implant and send him into seizures. Well, fuck him into seizures. And all the fraternity boys are going, yeah, 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 for tune. And that's how they got away with it. And they love hearing the stories. They love raking the coals and turning the gerbil wheels and hearing all of the controversies and all the lovers. But in the background, when you get behind the man in the triangular purple coat with the polka dots on it, the clowniac with the rattles, when you get behind him, when he opens up into the shock in the dark ride at Kennywood Old, that's Michael Reagan panting for his favorite scene some more.